Hey everybody, Glenn in South Texas coming at you with another vinyl video. I've been looking for a while to find another collection that was equal to or at least close to the 13th floor elevator collection that I purchased, I guess about a year and a half back. If you haven't seen that video, check some of my earlier videos. It had the whole 13th floor elevator collection in it, along with lots of other cool stuff. And I think that's what we have here. Sadly, a good friend of mine that I knew in radio, we called him Dr. John. He passed away, and his family called me, and so I got a chance to pick up his record collection. And so I did, and I want to show that to you right now. Let's go take a look. So I gave the Vinyl Vulture van the day off and came in the truck. As you can see, there's about 1,000 records here. John had great taste in music. Has some Texas tunes. Rick Derringer, Joe Ely. Just tons of stuff. I don't know if you can see that. That's a MoFi, Abbey Road. And it's just a mix. I mean, the guy liked country, he liked rock, all kinds of stuff. There's some Steve Earle, and, you know, the Doors, and Doobies, Jefferson Starship, Waylon Jennings. Awesome collection. Again, probably about 1,000 records here. So I got to get these unloaded, and we'll take a better look at these when I get them laid out somewhere. I got to go find room for these records. I'll talk to you in a bit. Hey VC, it's Glenn in South Texas, where it's a crime to not love Willie Nelson. Hope you're doing okay. I've got some great vinyl finds to show you, including what we've been checking out just a little bit. I finally got the big collection unloaded in the shed out back. Don't worry, it's a nice shed. It's not like an old tool shed. So all the albums are safe. And I just went through and picked a bunch of the good stuff, and I want to show you some of those. Now, it's not quite the caliber of the collection that I picked up about a year and a half ago, but it's a great collection nonetheless. And as a lot of you collectors know, every collection's a little bit different, or a whole lot different in a lot of cases. First, I want to show you a couple of things I picked up in different places. I bought this online. This is the Sundays reissue, and it's the mono. And I gotta say, it sounds pretty good. A lot of people who can't afford the $1,000 or whatever it costs for an original mono, this is their go-to. I'd like to know what you think is the best maybe reissue of this album. I know Charlie has a recent reissue. I tried to pick that up on Acoustic Sounds. They've been sold out of it for a while. So I went ahead and splurged a little bit on this one. I gotta say, pretty good, pretty solid from Sundays right there. The mono edition of the 13th Floor Elevators first album. Also, a buddy gave me this, Steve Earle, The Hard Way. Now, this is not quite the caliber of the album that preceded it, which was Copperhead Road, but still a good album. A very haunting song on here called Billy Austin, if you've never heard that one. One of my favorites on here. Also, The Other Kind is another great cut off Steve Earle and the Dukes, The Hard Way album. So I want to thank my buddy Jim for passing that along to me. What else have we got? Okay, yeah, let's get into the collection here. Some of the good stuff I found. This is Pink Floyd. This is a reissue, the Fame reissue. It's a UK, and sounds really good. This album has never been one of my favorites. I know I'm probably in the minority here in the VC, but you know, to be honest, I really prefer Animals. Animals would be my favorite Pink Floyd. Not a big fan of the early stuff, but I know some of you are, and maybe it'll grow on me. I'll keep spinning it and see if it does. Also, we had some Depeche Mode. Now, I should say this guy had a real wide taste in music. I mean, I think I mentioned it in the open. So we had a little bit of this, a first pressing from a radio station, I believe. Some of you in the San Antonio area may remember the Super Q. It was, it had an identity problem for a while. It was, you know, album rock, then it was hit music, and it's been all over the place. I think 96 is now like today's top hits, that kind of thing going on. Had some Beatles, of course, lots of Beatles. This is a German pressing on the Apple label, and sounds really good. A German first pressing. Again, some people prefer this to even the UK. Now, I'm highly suspect of that, but I've never heard an original UK of Abbey Road, so we will see. Hopefully one will come my way soon. Also had the MoFi, and some people say this is probably one of the worst MoFis ever put out, because they had the master tapes and they could have done an awesome job, and yeah, it really doesn't sound all that good. I actually prefer the Purple label stuff that came out in the 80s, the Purple Capitol label Beatles stuff that they reissued, which I've got a full run of in this collection. We also have two Virgins with the bag. That's US pressing. How about some Rory Gallagher? Yeah, man. Rory Gallagher is, so I love his music. I need to listen to him some more to get the full effect. But really, really good stuff. This is called Tattoo. Probably got 5 or 6 Rory Gallagher albums in this collection. Only one Hawkwind, though. And this is called Friends and Relations. Kind of looks like a private press. Sharp 101. I haven't listened to that yet. Great White, their first album, promo. I don't believe it's a white label promo, though. What else have we got? Another reissue. John Lee Hooker, House of the Blues. This one is a promo, though. So looking forward to spinning that one. So many records. I haven't had a chance to play them all. And I've been working on cleaning a lot of them with the good old Record Dr. 6 here. 5 Live Yardbirds, another reissue, a Rhino reissue. Let's take a look at that label. Love me some Rhino reissues. Not a real big fan of the fact that they're not taking care, not taking care of some of the independent record stores. I know are upset with them about, you know, just releasing some of these high quality rock releases they're doing through their website, but I'll save that conversation for another time. And matter of fact, I think it's been covered pretty well here on the BC. How about some new Riders of the Purple Sage? Got several albums by NRPS in this collection. Here's one I haven't seen before. Levon Helm, the RCO All-Stars. Duck Dunn and Steve Cropper are both a part of this jam here. Pretty good track listing there. Levon Helm and the RCO All-Stars. A lot of country rock in this collection. And if you only own one J.J. Cale album, I suggest you get this one. It's Naturally. This one's on the Shelter label. And it's got Call Me the Breeze. We've got Magnolia, which is a beautiful song. Clyde, which Waylon Jennings had a minor hit with. Crazy Mama, all good stuff from J.J. Cale. The album Naturally, probably one of my Desert Island discs, man. We all have to have a little bit of country to mellow out to from time to time. At least I do. Whitesnake, first album. Thought, oh, it's going to be a promo, but it's not. And it's not their first album. I said first album. This was 1987 self-titled, I should say. Nice clean copy of that. How about some Frigid Pink? A little bit of Psych. This is pretty good. It's been a long time since I listened to this album, so I'll have to give it a spin. Some Frigid Pink. Something else this guy did, my buddy John, was he would seal up his records. You know, it's like they didn't have the shrink on them, so he made shrink. And he, a lot of times would, I can't get this to, he would tape the outer sleeve onto the inside of the jacket. So it is what it is. That was something he wanted to do. So there you go, Dr. John. Where the Buffalo Roam. This is a pretty good movie about Hunter S. Thompson. What a great album cover. You can stare at this album cover for a while. I mean, they're just, look at that. Yeah, I love Bill Murray. I'm a big Bill Murray guy. Here's a Nutmeg issue. Something called Kaleidoscope from Jimi Hendrix. Hadn't listened to that yet. We'll definitely give that a spin. Fables of the Reconstruction from REM. Now we're getting into the meat of the action here. Bee Gees, Odessa. It's in very nice condition because, of course, he has sealed it in a poly sleeve, so they're nicely taped. But it's a beautiful copy. I would say excellent on this copy, so very cool there. Trapeze, Medusa, one of my favorite albums. Love this. This is definitely one of my top 20 Desert Island discs. Every song on here, man. Glenn Hughes, vocals get kind of wild, but man, love me some Trapeze. And I believe this is a first pressing. So, how come all my record labels are upside down? Anyway, I don't know. We'll keep rolling. Black Sabbath, Volume 4. Love me some Black Sabbath, of course, and you know, and it's just like me to tell you that this is probably my favorite Sabbath album. It's not everybody's favorite, but I've always loved this album. I always thought this was great. It's on the NIMS Fried Egg label. So we got that. We got Paranoid, also on the Fried Egg NIMS. Which supposedly, I haven't listened to this one yet, but supposedly this is a pretty good reissue here. Sounds pretty good. So, Vive C. So my battery died, so that'll happen from time to time. Anyway, got this Black Sabbath on the Fontana Special label, a Fontana Special Edition. Black Sabbath, Attention. And a pretty decent track listing on there. I love getting weird stuff like that I've never seen before. Here's a promo from the Born Again era with Ian Gillan. Got Trashed and Zero the Hero. The cover's a bit trashed, but the vinyl is just about near mint. And we've got the first album from Sabbath. And let's see here. This one is first pressing. Of course, somebody wrote their name on it, but about a VG on that one. Hard to find these in clean condition. I mean, they're always pretty spent, but decent, man. Good player copy of that one. Also, Canned Heat. I love Canned Heat. Never heard of this album though. One More River to Cross. It is a promo. It's not a white label promo, but a promo nonetheless. Love that gatefold. Pretty cool. And this one, the suggested cuts are We Remember Fats is the first suggested cut on that for DJs, which we never really follow. You know, we might check it out, but you know, we play what we want. At least we used to. But pretty cool stuff. Looking forward to giving that a spin. And we're getting down to the end here. Got a couple of good ones to show you, so hang on. Several Pink Floyd albums in this batch, including this, the Masters of Rock compilation. I'll show you that label. It is an EMI pressing. Masters of Rock, Chapter 24, Apples and Oranges, Julia Dream, See Emily Play on here. And let's see, got Keith Richards, solo album. I was more of a fan of Main Offender, but this is a great album too. I believe called Talk is Cheap. Is that right? Doesn't say on here. Talk is Cheap. Steve Earle. Big fan of Steve Earle. His music. This is when Guitar Town was released, a little promo sampler. And this has got Good Old Boy Getting Tough, Fearless Heart, and Someday, I believe, was the focus track, kids. And some of the cool little blurbs on here. Somebody wrote, let's see, who wrote this? Lynn Brimmer of WXRT. Never heard of Lynn, but I like what they wrote here. It says, he reminds me of what Jackson Browne might sound like if he had never been to LA. So, love finding stuff like this. Not big value, but big fun, and that's what it's all about. Speaking of big fun, how about Samantha Fox? This is kind of weird. I was looking at this, I thought it was just a 12-inch single. It's a special edition. It says contains 2 brand new songs and remixes of the fantastic hits. And check this out. So it's a Japanese press. Kind of interesting. So not a real. I was a big fan of Samantha Fox. I was like, oh, she sings too. No, that's horrible. I shouldn't say stuff like that. But I mean, what do you want, man? I was 17 years old. Samantha Fox in the collection. Also, some country rock. Joe Ely. Some of you may have heard me talk about Joe Ely. Love me some Joe Ely. This is his first album on MCA Records. It's got songs like I Had My Hopes Up High, She Never Spoke Spanish to Me, which the Texas Tornadoes do an awesome version of that on their release, their 1990 release. Sucking a Big Bottle of Gin's on here. Some songs by his fellow Flatlanders, Jimmy Dale Gilmore and Butch Hancock. And so Joe was taking care of the peeps on this 1977 release. So great, gonna keep this one in my collection for sure. Joe Ely, self-titled, 1977. Never heard this one. Looks interesting. Coliseum, Daughter of Time. Let's check out that gatefold. On ABC Records, Coliseum. Tora Tora. Now we're getting into my wheelhouse. This was right after high school, I think this came out. What was this, about 1990? 89. It's got a great song on here called Phantom Rider. Phantom Rider is one of my all-time favorite songs. If you've never heard of Tora Tora, I think their biggest hit was Walking Shoes, but Phantom Rider is a great song. Tora Tora, glad to find this near mint copy. And got a notch in it up here, but great stuff. Somebody paid $8.95 for it. You can buy this for me for a cool $80 if you like. Greg Allman Tour. Never seen this one. I never ran across this one. Cowboy, Boyer, and Talton are his special guests, and it's Greg Allman with a 24-piece orchestra. So I'm a big Allman Brothers guy, so I'll definitely be giving this one a spin very, very soon. Now, speaking of the Allman Brothers Band, another really clean copy of At Fillmore East. This one on the pink Capricorn label. This one is cleaner than mine, so I'm keeping this one. This one is very close to excellent condition. So say VG++. People say, well, it's either excellent or VG++. It's the same thing. No, not really. Not if you step it down a little bit. Excellent should be near mint. VG++ is a little further down from excellent in my book, but that's the way I do it. And then, and I wish this was in excellent condition. This, however, is VG, but it is a promo copy, kids, of At Fillmore East by the Allman Brothers Band on that beautiful white Capricorn label. And I'm going to give this a spin because a lot of times, I mean, there's really no deep scratches on here. You can tell this definitely got some airplay. But because DJs didn't treat their records well usually. The only mint DJ records you're going to find, the DJ took home with him and stuck in his collection because he knew they'd be worth something one day. Finally, I found this. Now, just a plain white cover, so I'm thinking, private press. What is this? Is it a test pressing? What is it? Well, what it is, it's the Allman Brothers' first album. It's a little dirty, but I think that's a VG plus on that one. Maybe not. Still, white label promo of the Allman Brothers' very first album. So I love this. What I'm not sure about is, did it come in this white sleeve? I know some did not, but being in radio for as long as I was, sometimes you get albums and they just come in a plain white wrapper. So I'm not sure. If you know, if you have an opinion on that, leave a comment down in the section. And don't forget to like and subscribe, kids. I'll try to make more videos as I get in more collections and more interesting stuff to show you. I'm Glenn in South Texas. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.